going to start with, we said we were going to start with 8 to 10 pages. If you're thinking about it, just like in like a little autobiographical sketch, you know, just your basics, you know, who you are, maybe where you fall in your sibling rank, maybe the third child born of, whatever, where you were born, just some basic information about yourself, and then how you are tying in this ancestor that you're going to focus for the book. You're not looking at 8 to 10 pages of writing something out or typing out. You're also including, you know, images, you know, for the book, because we don't want a book just full of words, because we want pictures to help tell, you know, these stories. Okay, and there are different ways that you can start out. Again, I like this heading here. This was called Finding Clinton Woodson, someone who had been searching for this person. So their title for their little case was Finding This Person. You know, if I were doing my grandmother, Pinky, the one with the name, my name thing, I might say something like, what a difference a name makes. And I could tell that story about the journey in finding her, you know, her real name, so that I could, you know, get her history in the book. So there are different ways that we can do it. You know, there are no rules for us. There's no one. We're doing this ourselves. So we're making it by rules as we go. Okay, so we have flexibility. We have flexibility is what I'm saying. Depends on how we want to do it as a group. Okay. Anyone else have something that they want to share? Anyone, even if you're not complete?
So now I'm understanding that we're writing our story, but then connecting it to my dad, and which is going to be hopefully a little bit easier for me because my dad raised me. And telling my story, starting with, you know, when I was born, and the fact that at a very young age, my dad had me and my brother with him at all times.
I found a document where my grandfather actually went to jail down in Alabama for doing prohibition for, you know, moonshining. Mm-hmm. So, come to find out, before he went to jail, his name was Findley, but then when he left, when he got out of jail and moved up to Chicago, he dropped the D. So I had been looking for Findley, you know, and couldn't find much of anything, and I put the D in there and all kind of stuff.
But I did start with my myself, and this is me as a kid, as a baby, and then move into something that's more of a personal history about my early life, and that would include getting into studying art and all that. This page would focus on my mom and dad, at least.
My mother's side and my father's side.
Right. Mm-hmm.
One side goes back to 1700, and the other side 1880. You know,
Okay.
so, but you find more interest, more talked about or in the 1700s.
Where him and his sister got to Savannah, the mother, their mother was married to Savannah. His mother, my grandfather on my father's side, Charlotte Savannah. Her husband, Henry Savannah.
Okay, George Simpkins. Edmund and Eloise Simpkins' son, George, almost slipped through the cracks. About 3 years before Daddy died, he said, Uncle George was here in Buffalo. He had a hotel, but it got away from him because of the Clore brothers. Sadie Walker Williams said that they had never been permitted to go to Uncle George's hotel, only the adults went. I heard the name of the hotel was either the Little Savoy or the Vendome. Now I have the address, 157L. And I'll be able to verify which hotel this is written before. So.
Lived at 9B Albright Court in Lackawanna, New York. I was told that I broke a tooth trying to walk behind my cousin Diane, and she's 6 months older than me. I attended Roosevelt Elementary School until grade 3, and we moved to 122 Grape Street, Buffalo, New York. I then attended Public School 37 on Carlton Street. My memories at School 37 are winning talent show playing the piano, winning Jesse Ketchum Medal for exams in 8th grade.
I was one of the early settlers of the area and a fairly prosperous landowner with a worth of $34,000 in 1860. He owned 29 slaves at this time. many of which helped with farm labor on his 4,000-acre plantation consisting mostly of tobacco fields. He was the fourth of 6 known children born to slave parents Thomas and Diana Farrell Duke. He has 3 brothers. He and his 3 brothers helped his father with farm labor most of the year. Later years, very reported. His father was a hard worker with a likable disposition, and his mother was a good housekeeper, lovable and very jolly. Following the Civil War, when it was no longer illegal for blacks to be educated, Thomas made it a priority for his sons to become educated and make sure they attended school as much as possible when they were not needed in the field.
On the page is Johnny, Willie, Matthew, Jordan. I remember it well. Johnny Willie Matthew Jordan was the 3rd child born to Joseph A. Jordan and Mary Elizabeth Morton Jordan on December 30th, 1905 in High Springs, Florida. He has no known birth certificate, but the 1910 census lists him living with both parents. And I kind of put slots in there like census, so I would probably want to put the census showing that. He lived in High Springs, Florida all of his life, and in his later years began to write about his life, titling the entries, I remember it well.
We want stories that will like just inspire and bring interest, because there are so many things that we know that our people did and accomplished and experienced and went through. And we have been raised in a society where we were so one-dimensional. It's like we had this one path, this one story, and we know that it's not true. And this book will be a vehicle that we can share that. You know, the stories of the people who are close to us, you know, and this one little vehicle to show that. And I think that's great. I love that. And I'm hoping that when we meet again, that people will continue to write things out and don't feel limited, don't feel judged, don't feel that you're free. Everyone, we're free, okay? And the sky's the limit, and just in terms of our thinking. So just start writing, typing, pulling out information. You may already have it done.